Welcome to The Younger Me, a 10-part interview video series where we feature some of our very own VetTech alumni students who are currently working in various professional fields. We hope that these videos will give you a glimpse of the possibilities after you graduate for you to set bigger and bolder goals. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our third episode of Dear Younger Me. I'm Vera.
And I'm Chloe.
And today we have Nikki, an alumni who graduated from Temasek Poly Veterinary Technology course in 2015. And she's currently a research assistant at the Chian Natural History Museum.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us today. But before we begin, could you please give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I think I graduated in 2015 from the VetTech course, and then I enrolled into Monash University, and I did the tropical environmental biology degree for about 2.5 years. Then after that, I found a job at the Chian Natural History Museum, which is where I am right now.
That's interesting. So for people who don't know what tropical environmental biology is about, maybe you can explain what it is about and also why you decided to go to Monash University.
Basically, it's just like environmental science, but they put the word like tropical there just cause it kind of revolves around the region. Because I went to the Malaysian campus, so Malaysia is situated in a tropical area. So I basically chose Monash because I guess I wanted to try something new. Like I didn't want to stay in Singapore. I just wanted to try something go overseas to try. With that being said, a lot of people might think that Malaysia is still quite similar to Singapore, right? Why don't you go Australia, stuff like that. I felt like maybe because of Malaysia's rich biodiversity, it was quite a prime location to be studying an environmental science degree. Also, under this program that Monash had, I was able to do this inter-campus exchange program to the Australian campus for one semester with no additional price. Yeah. So I thought it was a pretty good deal.
You chose to do environmental biology instead of vet. Is there any specific reason why you decided to do that?
It's not to say that I did not enjoy myself during my vet tech times. I just realized after a while that I just preferred being outdoors more than being in the clinic, or I preferred observing and studying animals and the environment that they're in rather than treating animals.
So you chose to study in the Malaysia campus, right? So how do you think your experience actually differed from your friends who chose to go to Australia, for example?
This one I'm actually not too sure. I just think that the syllabus is the one that's the main difference. So we mostly study about what's happening around our region. So we talk about palm oil, which is very big, widely talked about there, and the hay situation during that time. Also the local species. Whereas in Australia they talk about things like invasive cane toads, or they're trying to save their marsupials, endangered marsupials, like these lead beaters, possum, stuff like that. So yeah.
So could you elaborate more on your exchange program and your experiences, what they taught there, and how did you come about finding this exchange program?
I guess before I entered the uni, I already knew that there was this exchange program that was happening. So it was one of my goals to achieve, because you have to meet a certain requirement in order to be allowed to do the inter-campus exchange. Also, when I got in, When I finally went to Australia, it was really, really nice. The campus was very different from the one in Malaysia. Workload wise, it's a bit less, which is kind of nice. There's a lot more hands-on work as well. And like, the campus is just really, really different compared to the one in Malaysia. It's just very, very wide. Like you can see a lot of people just skateboarding there, like riding their bikes around. So like during the weekends, I would just explore Melbourne because that's where it's based in. Also, I went there during the winter time, so it's quite cold, but I like it anyway, so I had a lot of fun. I think the exchange program was one of the highlights of my uni life, for sure. Like I highly recommend people to do an exchange program overseas if they can.
Just curious, like if you had the opportunity to actually complete your degree in Australia, would you have rather gone to Australia than to Malaysia?
I guess so, maybe because I met a lot of really nice people there, and I think I forged really deep friendships there also. So, like, I'm actually hoping to go back there as well. Yeah.
So currently you're working at the museum, right? So what research do you actually do there, and how does your vet diploma actually help you?
My main role is to actually assist my supervisor. So he's the one that does all the main planning and stuff like that. So I just like try to do my best to make it as smooth as possible for him. So we do things like, I say we because there's like 2 research assistants in the project that I'm in. So we like conduct field trips to the field site very, very regularly. And then we just collect samples. There's a lot of data collection. And then we go back to the lab and then we sort the insects out and stuff like that. And then there's also a portion of our project that we have to do with a lot of lab work. So I think that's when the TP education really helped, because TP has like a lot of lab for the vet course module. I remember learning like lab work and stuff like that. So it really helped build the fundamentals, the foundation for like lab work and like the theory side of things. You know, like aseptic techniques. It's like simple, but like it's very important. Like obviously when I entered uni, I built on that, which also helped me when I entered my job. Yeah. So there's also a large component of my job deals with lab work as well, and also data analysis, which so like you do like courses on statistics, right? So that would come in handy as well.
So like your job as a research assistant, right? Do you think there are any jarring like character traits or personality traits one should have to enter that job? Or any traits that you think help you do better at the job?
I would say you should be able to multitask very well, because there's like always a lot of things happening and a lot of changes happening. So you always have to like adapt very, very well and quite quickly. Also, you need to communicate very well because you'll be working with a few other people. And also like sometimes you'll have volunteers that join you on your field trips. You need to like take responsibility and like look after them, because you are like their safety is like in your hands basically. So you need to like be proactive and like just take initiative. Yeah.
So were there any like vet tech subjects that actually piqued your interest in environmental biology?
Yes. It was microbiology. So I remember when I was in poly, I actually liked microbiology and actually like metabolic biochemistry, stuff like that. I actually went on to do a minor in microbiology in uni. And then for my final year project, I did a project on how we can use like fungus to like remove heavy metals from polluted water, basically. So like that's how you can like mix microbiology with environmental science. Yeah.
What kind of job progressions do you think you foresee yourself having? Maybe like any promotions or any other positions like in the museum that you could take up with your vet degree?
I think the most commonly taken route for a research assistant would be like to have further studies and then maybe join academia. Yeah, stuff like that. But honestly, for me, I'm not so sure yet. I'm still like wondering if I should do that.
So, what are some challenges that you actually face at work as a research assistant?
We do have interns that come in. So previously I was saying like how their safety is in our hands and stuff like that. So there's another point of it. So like sometimes we need the interns to help us to like sort the insects out. So like we have to constantly check on them to see if they're doing like sorting it right. So sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming because there's so many things going on. So that's just some of the challenges of like you need to keep a lookout for everything. Yeah, because like if someone makes like a mistake now, right, it will kind of snowball or like be quite a big headache later on. So you have to kind of be very very observant. You need to like catch the person in like if they made a mistake now, you need to like tell them like, oh, okay, you should be doing this.
So I'm sure like there are many challenges that you face at work, but there are also like things that you love about your job, right? So maybe you can share with us some things that you love about your job.
Actually, a lot of things I like about my job. Like field work. I actually really love field work, and I really love looking at the different kind of insects like under the microscope. But if I really, really had to choose one, it would be my colleagues, because they make work a lot more fun. And also being in the museum, you get to meet a lot of like scientists and like research visitors sometimes from other countries. And you get to like kind of chat with them sometimes, and then you meet all these like amazing people, like-minded people, and it's just like, yeah, it's just very, very cool.
Okay, our last question. Do you have any advice for your younger selves?
I wish I got into insects earlier. Back then I would have never guessed that I would be working with insects now, but like now I really appreciate insects. Also it takes time to like discover what you really want to do. Like really there's no rush. Yeah, like really don't worry. things will work out. Yeah.
So like let's say you have juniors that are like you and they want to like work with insects in the future. What do you think they can start doing now? Since you said like you regret not starting earlier, so what kind of advice would you give those who want to start now?
I would say to try to get more involved with let's say if you're interested in insects, right, then there's a lot of like groups on Facebook and stuff like that. You should like try to get involved with those groups. And sometimes they have like nature walks and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I think I should have done when I was like younger. Yeah.
Thank you for watching this episode of Dear Younger Me. We hope you have learned more about the research profession. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we will be posting more videos about other professions.